MILFs, hello and welcome to another episode of the Mum to MILF podcast with your host, Adriano Rizzo. Now, I've had a pretty fucking shithouse week, I'll be honest. I'm going to do a bit of talk on life stuff, but also a bit of education stuff. Today's topic is going to be standards. And let's talk about your environment, because it's quite topical, okay? Standards are a really, really important one, because if you're overweight, you've probably got really shithouse ones. And you just aren't aware of it. You think that your standards are really, really high. But they're the exact same standards that are keeping you fat, overweight, and unhappy. Right? And your environment, big one too. I just traveled all the way to Austin, Texas in the last week. And holy shitballs, my sleep heavily impacted. Terrible. Went to bed at 8 p.m., woke up at 9:30, went to bed at 9:45, woke up at fucking 11:30, couldn't sleep, yada, 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 for 3 nights. Last night was the first night we got some proper Z's in, friends. Thank the good Lord. I'm not going to the United States for a long time after that. That was 35 hours of flights, delays in Austin because it's icy, and they had a snowstorm or an ice storm the weekend that I was there. Fun times. Definitely do not recommend such things. But hey, we did business class, first class for the first time in our lives. And whilst it was more comfortable, the jet lag and everything else was exactly the same. It was a shit show. So, kudos on that. That was fun. Good experience. However, terrible experience on the old jet lag sleep schedule. So we're back in the zone, moving and grooving. But the environment, for me, was a big one. So I plopped myself out of my usual space, which is everything in my life is custom designed for me to be effective. My gym is literally 1,000 steps away from my house. I've got everything dialed in terms of my washing gets done for me. I have all my food cooked for me. Now, this is all by design, so I can be as effective as I can be in business and get in shape. Now, some of you might go, well, that's easy for you to try and get in shape. It wasn't always like this, and I managed to get in shape. So, fucking hush. It's okay. I'm just saying this to, I guess, outline what your life can sort of look like and how streamlined it can look like and how that impacts how effective you can be. So, flying, didn't sleep. Then there's all these short-term food options. I didn't have anything to cook for the first 2-3 days, so I had to go to a grocery store. I didn't have my usual go-to low-calorie things. By day 3, I had my usual yogurt bowl and things, and then by that stage, it was 2 or 3 days, and I was back home. So I ended up making some really short-term fun food decisions, like pancakes for breakfast, shit I haven't done in years, but all because I was out of a different environment. And so the reason why this is applicable for you gals is because let's say you have school holidays or things like that, or maybe sick kids, and you get thrown into different environments that change how you interact with food. Now, luckily for most of my gals who are in Australia, it's really quite easy to get healthy food in. Now, having been to America, you have to drive everywhere. There's not healthy food options pretty much anywhere, and it's a shit show. They'll tell you the calories, but you go to IHOP, the minimum calorie breakfast is bloody 600, 700. Right? So you kind of just got to eat half of everything. It's really, really easy to eat 1,000 calorie breakfast, just by default. So the same thing can happen in your life. Beautiful thing is you've got McDonald's drive-through. You can get a egg McMuffin pumped through there, and it's 350 calories. You've got all these little spots, but it's really important to understand that if your environment changes, you have to be proactive about what you choose to do. So with a lot of my gals, what I coach them to do is get those My Muscle Chef meals, pre-made meals, all those things, or have your local go-to spots. Could be what's the good one? Grilled burgers. They have 500 calorie burgers. Taste actually really, really nice. You can do McDonald's McGrilled. You can do Hungry Jack's. I think they've got a grilled chicken burger. There's all these little options and all these little things that you can use and do and have that can really set you up for success in the long term. Okay? Why that's so important is because if you're more reactive and not thought out and you don't have those backstops, you're just going to gain a kilo or two. And especially if you're trying to lose weight, that can really throw you off. Like, who here has been thrown off by gaining 4 kilos and got the fuckets and gone shit? There's no point. Pretty much all of you listening would have gotten to that stage. So how do we push through that and only gain 500 grams to a kilo max over a 2-week, 3-week span? It comes down to environment. It comes down to your standards. So I want to outline some of the big complaints or big things that some of my gals have before they jump into the program and how to sort of navigate your standards. Because you are the average of, whether or not you can see it, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. And this doesn't include your kids. You're the average of the people that you probably compare yourself most to, right? So if you've got your friends Susan, Sharon, Karen, safe to say if you need to lose 10 kilos, Sharon and Karen need to too. Now, you might find solace in the fact that you only need to lose 10, but Sharon and Karen need to lose 20. Sometimes ladies are a bit, how you going with that sort of stuff? They will oftentimes keep friends around that are doing worse than them, which is a really interesting play. But that's just kind of some of the themes that I've noticed through coaching over 1,500 of you now. There's definitely some things that stand out. So if you don't want to be someone that's like that, look, can you change your circle of friends? Absolutely. Would I recommend it? Probably. Yeah. Or you can be the person that sets the example, sets new standards, and then do your friends come along with you? Hopefully. Right? That could be the switch and that could be the change that you're really looking for and you could make. And I see that being really, really effective because in some of my most successful clients, yeah, their family even have gone, hey, what are you doing? Like, have given them shtick essentially about changing their life. Oh, you look too skinny now, blah, 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 blah. But it's just because all these people are fat, right? They've got shit standards. If you make a shitload of money, you're probably going to have some broke people go, why would you spend your money on that? It's like, because people who make a lot of money tend to spend a lot of money on themselves. And that's not just buying Gucci bags, that's investing in their health. I guarantee you Kim Kardashian doesn't look just like Kim Kardashian because she wakes up that way. No, she probably spends close to $500,000 to $1 million every single year to look that way with chefs, with trainers, with all sorts of stuff, right? That's how you look like that, by investing. You don't just wake up and look like an absolute weapon, male or female. It has to be intentional. Now, some people can look really muscular and sure, if you're a guy, maybe there's some space for that, but it is very, very rare for someone to be on top of their shit all the time without investing a shitload of time into it. And for most of you mums watching, you probably don't have the time aspect nailed. So if I'm you, to elevate my standards, trying to meet some new people at a gym, trying to meet some people that actually give a fuck about their life, don't want to binge drink on weekends, don't want to drink a wine just to cope with life. I know so many mums in the program that have actually fixed their relationship with themselves and their kids through losing weight. It might seem crazy to you, but to me it doesn't. How I treat myself is how I end up treating everybody else. And there's a magnetism to me and a magnetism to the mums that I coach because I treat myself with a shitload of respect, right? And I demand that of the people in my circle. And then, same with my mamas. The ones that actually end up looking after themselves really, really well and hold strong boundaries, they've got a good life, peaceful. It doesn't mean they're alienated, but the right people will start to fill that space that maybe it's empty for 6 to 12 months, right? Maybe you talk less to your family, whatever. But I guarantee your life will improve tenfold, not just in terms of happiness, but in terms of fulfillment, ease, all that good stuff, just because you've chosen to uplift your standards. And so if your best friend Susan wants to drink a bottle of wine every Friday and that's your thing that you guys do together, cool. But if you walk down the line and you look at Susan and you go, okay, do I want to be more like Susan in 20 years? The answer is no, probably get the fuck away from Susan. Or if you look at, one of the mums in the playground that's always in shape, eating well, kids eat well, whatever. You look at her and you're like, well, shit, she's always in shape. I wouldn't mind looking like her in 20 years. Probably someone you should probably go become friends with or level up your standards to look like more like. This doesn't happen by accident. There are so many unseen things that you can't see because you don't have high standards yet. It could be the time that you separate and you go, hey, hubs, I need some me time. I need to go to the gym. Standard. My best performing mums are the ones that tell their husband, hey, there's me time in this. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's not a maybe. I'm considered in this standard. They will not keep shit food in-house for the majority of the time. Standard. They will track their body weight, track their measurements, take photos. Standard. They will hire professional help if they can't solve the problem themselves. Standard. All of these things are what get you from the mum you're at right now to the mum you want to be. It might seem like, well, how do they do it? It's because they invest, chances are, as well. If I don't know how to fix my car, I'm not just going to go and try and clunk around to fix it. No, I'm going to get the resources I need to hire a mechanic and he's going to fix it so my car runs right. But most of you think because you can lose 5 or 10 kilos once, then that's reason enough for you to be able to lose it for the rest of your life. No. I've been doing this for 17 years. You know how much money I've invested in coaches and business coaches and whatever else? Hundreds of thousands. That might seem like a daunting number, but it's the reason why I'm at where I'm fucking at. Because I'm happy to invest. I go, yep, coaching and upskilling costs money. Investing in yourself costs money. I still have a coach to this day. And a great one who looks over all my blood work. I want to make sure that I'm living as healthy for as long as I can and there's no like hiccups along the way for me. So I invest. It costs me $250 for 30 minutes of his time every single month. We do nothing other than have a random checkup health conversation. $230 and $250, sorry. And a lot of you are hesitant to even spend $100 on your health, which is just insane, right? So many of you wig out about the investment instead of what you could actually gain from it. So when you think about the expense, I could spend it on my kids or da-da-da-da, or you could actually invest in yourself and start to level up as a human. Fuck being 40, 50 and not having a good life. What you do now and the standards that you have now compound year on year. You just can't see it because you're not aware of it until you're in the hospital bed and you're going, how did this all happen to me? Oh no. I've done everything. I've tried everything. No, you've tried everything that you know how to do. You've done shakes, medication, surgery, all the bullshit other than the hard work that is required to transform your life and your identity. Other than upping your standards. Lady Shake is not upping your standards. Jabbing yourself with medication isn't upping your standards. Right? There's an upheaval that is required for you to get to the level of competency that you want to be at to be the woman that you want to be. Again, you don't become Kim Kardashian by accident. There's a shitload of stuff. You don't become J-Lo by accident. You think J-Lo's going, well, I need the help, but I don't, and you're going to go, well, J-Lo's rich. Yeah, how the fuck do you think J-Lo got rich? Food for thought. Do you think she was like, you know what, I really should skimp on the things that are going to get me success? No, she's probably thought, well, fuck, yeah, actually, if I want to get here, I better have a stylist, I better have a this, I better have this, I better look immaculate in every single picture. Do you think that comes for free? No, she spends money. Yeah, but it's her industry. And you think you wouldn't make more money if you showed up to work more energized? You were in shape? I guarantee you will make more money based on how you look, because how you look is a direct reflection of how you treat yourself. And if I'm hiring somebody, there's a big reason why we don't hire overweight people in my company, because you don't look after yourself. You're going to be like, hey, yeah, your job is to inspire and lead. And then here's Sharon, who's 20 kilos overweight, who can't lose a kilo and can't stick to a diet plan. You're hired. No. And sure, you could say, Adriano, different industry, it's fitness. Sure. But if I go to an accountant, for example, I've got 2 accountants, let's say. I don't actually. But let's say I've got 2. One, in shape, drives a nice car. The other shows up out of shape, not a nice car. Who do you think I'm going to go with? Accountant, in shape, nice car. Why? Because they show me that they're operating at a higher level. And a lot of people don't understand this. It's not just your physical appearance. It's that people take you more seriously because you take yourself seriously. There's an aura that you have. Right? And if you just can't see what you can't see right now because you have the standards that have kept you where you are in life. You've not chosen to get out of your comfort zone. You've chosen to stay complacent. Oh, it's too much money. It's not worth it. But you'd happily spend $1,000 on a fucking whatever, or you'd happily spend $10,000 on a holiday you're going to forget about in 2 years. Right? Well, got to save for that. But for your health, you're like, it's not really worth it. Okay. Well, that explains the situation that you're in then. It explains why life feels uncomfortable, why you go to put on clothes in the morning and nothing fits because your standards are low. The only reason why most people get ahead is because of what they do often. Not what they do one time, what they do repeatedly over time. That is how you get ahead. That's why I always preach consistency. The gals in my program that kill it, that have reinvented themselves, that are actually like miles ahead, have solved decade-long binge eating, have better relationships with their husband. I've got some gals that even do check-ins with their husband every single week, a family check-in. How's everything going? Are we on track for the week? Where are we heading to this week? Standards that you wouldn't even do once a week with your hubby at all. Right? Probably you never even thought about it. These people are doing this because once you solve the problem of you being overweight, you've got so much more mental bandwidth to solve other problems in your life. Had one of my gals in Arena, she was telling me, hey, this is the first school term I've had when I'm returning my kids back to school. I'm not upset with them, not grumpy with them. First time, that's the biggest win. I said, hands down, aside from the 15 kilos of weight loss, that, even it's more important than the 15 kilos weight loss, in my opinion, not being moody with your kids. Imagine that compounded. You're a grumpy fucker with your kids, and you do that over year on year on year. When they turn 18, what do you think they're going to want to do? Run towards you or run away from you? And what do you think they're going to become? A kid that does the same shit, or someone that's learned? If you show your kids, hey, don't invest in yourself, don't take risks, don't try and be better, stay exactly the fucking same and be miserable and take it out on your family because you can't take any control over your life, what do you think that tells your kids? They're going to do the same shit because you modeled it. They're a sponge. They're going to listen to you, both visually and audibly. So I make this podcast and I make this clip to tell you that your standards are keeping you stuck. You deserve to be the weight that you're at based on the action that you've put into it. You just think that you've been doing enough. And I'm here to tell you that you haven't been. And the real way to get ahead is to level up your standards. And that comes from having someone like a coach or something similar to, yes, shameless plug for what I do. We change lives, right? But you don't have to get me. You can get another fucking coach. I don't give a shit. We're going to get enough people in this year. We're going to change enough lives. But the point is, if you want to be a better mum, if you want to be a better woman, you have to level up your standards. And those standards are non-negotiable. It's not like, oh, I eat really good, but every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't eat good. Well, then you don't fucking eat good, ding dong. That's a shit standard. What you do often is who you are. It's not what you do sometimes. And if you invest in yourself weekly, monthly, yearly, expect those things to compound over 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The gals that have been with me for the longest are the ones that are always in the best shape. It's no magic. Hang around Adriano enough, your standards will improve. Hang around a coach long enough, your standards will improve. It's just most people don't operate like that because they think life is a one and done. Oh, that's it. That's it. I've done enough now. And because you start justifying your standards again. And before you know it, you stop pushing, you stop driving, you stop trying to get uncomfortable, and you go complacent again. Then you're like, how did I get back here? My weight's gone back up again. Oh no, I stopped doing exactly what got me the result. And I put the weight back on. Yeah, no shit. If I go to work for 40 hours and I make $1,000 or $2,000, and then I stop going to fucking work, I can expect to not get paid. But when you stop doing exactly what got you to where you were, of course you're not going to make any success. Of course you're going to go backwards because you stopped doing what got you there. Elevate your standards, whether it be your environmental standards, your social standards, your relationship standards, how you treat yourself standards, your physical activity standards. Your standards will dictate your quality of life by a long stretch. That is the theme of today. So hope you have found this video helpful, this podcast helpful. It probably just sounded like I abused you for 20 minutes. And maybe you needed that today. But I guarantee you, someone that's done this year in, year out, week in, week out, that I know fuckloads better than you do. I mean, you can listen to it or not, and that's okay, but I will sleep all the same, and that is sleeping bloody well, aside from the jet lag. So, love yous. Hope this gave you a big kick up the arse to join a coach and change your life and stop being the shitty self that you don't need to be in life anymore. There is choices out there, there is options out there, and you can make anything work if you put your mind to it and your wallet to it in a lot of cases. Because if you pay attention. Free PDFs don't change the world. But anyway, love yous, leave yous. Hope you have a great day today, and I hope you enjoyed the soothe
warm tones of my masculine abusive voice.
Love yous. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.